If you think about a cancer that can metastasize, it's traveling someplace. So if it gets into the lymph node, it's already proven to you that it can get to its destination.
He's fantastic at being able to take huge concepts and put them into smaller, easier to understand chunks. And I think that it probably comes from him having to deal with patients dealing with cancer.
We would avoid the growing nodes if at all possible, because they're often false positive, false negative, because everybody...
He has this ability to make the body make sense.
Just the best teacher you could possibly wish for.
I think one of the things that I found when not only being a student as a medical student, but also just watching other people teach in medical school, is that you really have to know who your audience is. And the first thing I realized is that you really need to step back and understand less is more. That the students are overwhelmed with all the information that they're getting, and from my perspective, I don't need them to know granular detail. I want them to understand broad-based concepts. Is this guy curable? No, he is not curable. So that you can give them the basics that they need and teach them how to learn the rest on their own. And that way you're making them lifelong learners, which is really what you need to be as a physician, because you're always going to have to be self-renewing your knowledge base.
He also focuses on patients and really helps us to appreciate that there's more to the art of medicine than just the treatment. There's more to the art of medicine than just the procedures. It's really about learning to interact with patients and understanding their perspectives and understanding everything that they're going through. And that's especially important in oncology and cancer medicine.
Okay, and so how long have you been feeling tired for?
And he sets up standardized patient simulations for us to experience, tough real-life scenarios, such as patients facing death, before we have to encounter it on the wards with real patients, with real suffering.
Okay, sure. So I'm going to feel in the 4th or 5th intercostal space on the left where the mitral area is.
When the students come back, especially after they've been into their 3rd and 4th year of clinical training, and now all they do all the time is interact with patients, they come back and they look at that experience and they say, that was fantastic, because it really was much more real to me. It got me thinking like a doctor. It got me to realize the kinds of real world pressures and problems that I'm going to be facing.
He is really inspirational, and honestly, I'm sure that a lot of people in our class will see him in our future because he has inspired them to go into oncology.
Why didn't anybody tell me he's behind me?
I can say it in one word, hilarious. I can say another word, inspirational. I can say another word, inclusive. He makes you feel at home. That's Billy. Billy makes it certain that you learn, you understand what you're learning, and what you're making out of your learning.
Definitely my favorite teacher that I've had so far. I guarantee I'll never forget any of those things that I learned in this class.
When I first landed at U of A, I started going to all of these UTS sessions, which was one of the best things that ever happened, because I ended up going to meetings with people like Mick Price, Jeanette Bowman, Margaret Ann Armour, just a cavalcade of people who were or were going to be 3M winners. And I was looking around thinking, am I really supposed to be here? Some people like to watch Tiger Woods or Wayne Gretzky. Well, to me, those are the people who are my role models and my heroes who I aspire to be like.
You tell me, what would you say if someone told you as a physical education teacher that you remind them of Sue Sylvester?
There's always a mood in which learning occurs. So a little levity opens people up more. They're going to receive, they're going to understand, they're going to engage more. They tend to be more imaginative and creative, but also I find if people are laughing, they're more likely to be listening. And mostly it's about poking fun at myself and not taking myself too seriously. So I'm really grateful for what you've provided, because without you, I don't get to be me. So I really do appreciate that. The thing that's particularly wonderful about this is that there's a real community. It's not just, here's an award. There are these other folks who I just have this certain reverence for, and now I have to catch up to sing. Yeah, I'm part of that team now.